December 14, 1972 was the date when the last human, Eugene Cernan, took his step off the moon and, along with his companion Harrison Skimmett, launched from the lunar surface toward Earth. It's been a full 52 years since that day, but after that, no human ever returned to that desolate, cold surface of the moon. What exactly happened with that Apollo 17 mission that made National Aeronautics and Space Administration decide not to set foot on the moon, the destination of their dreams, ever again? Is there some unresolved mystery buried there that still troubles us today? Is there a dark truth hidden beneath the moon's white surface that would force humanity to reconsider everything? Today, we will travel back in time and peer into the depths of the moon where every step hides a new question and a new fear. But it's very important that you stay with us on this mysterious journey. Don't even think about leaving this video until the end, because here you'll learn what the moon might be trying to tell us. Every end has a beginning, and the journey to land on the moon with the Apollo program began on July 20-20, 1969 with Apollo 11, when Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin took their historic steps on the surface of the moon. After this success, National Aeronautics and Space Administration carried out 7 missions until 1972. These included Apollo 11, Apollo 12, Apollo 14, Apollo 15, Apollo 16, and the last mission, Apollo 17. Among these, Apollo 13 had a very tragic outcome. Due to an explosion in the oxygen tank, the entire mission was put in danger. If you want to know more about this mission, do let us know in the comments below. But today, our focus is on Apollo 17, which began on December 7, 1972 with the roar of the Saturn V rocket from Kennedy Space Center. According to American time, at 5:30 in the evening when the rocket launched, 3 astronauts, Commander Eugene Cernan, Lunar Module Pilot Harrison Schmitt, and Command Module Pilot Ronald Evans headed towards space. The spacecraft had 3 sections. The command module, where the crew stayed, which was equipped with a life support system. The service module, which was designed for supplying engine power, electricity, and oxygen, and the lunar module. On the moon. In 47 seconds, the spacecraft had reached Earth's low Earth orbit, from where the 3rd stage was now going to take the spacecraft to the moon. This was not just a story of technological achievement. Apollo 17 was a scientific exploration mission. They took along scientific equipment with them. The instruments included a seismometer, a gravimeter, and special instruments for drilling on the moon's surface. These instruments made it possible to study the moon's internal structure and seismic activities. But was this journey really that easy? Or was there a hidden danger that changed this mission forever? After a 3-day-long journey, on December 10, 1972, Apollo 17 had reached the moon's orbit. The 3rd stage of Saturn V separated at about 200 miles above. Now, the spacecraft's command module and service module rotated 180 degrees and docked with the lunar module, and Mission Control initiated the orbital insertion process to bring the spacecraft into the moon's orbit. But during this time, there came a moment when contact with Mission Control was lost. At that time, Apollo 17 was on the far side of the moon. From there, Earth is not even visible, and no kind of communication with Earth is possible. This lasted for 30 minutes, and during this time, the radio was completely silent. The 3 astronauts sitting in the spacecraft were just waiting for when they would be able to contact Earth, and suddenly, a voice came from the ground station. Mission Control to Apollo 17 status report. Orbit 118 miles, 2nd stage complete, over. The astronauts breathe a sigh of relief, but there is a sense sense of unknown tension in the conversation going on between them. The third stage initiated the trans-lunar injection, which took it out of Earth's gravity and sent it toward the moon. Here, some conspiracy theorists say that during this time, the astronauts sitting in the spacecraft heard a strange noise on the radio. It was a vibrating sound that didn't seem like a human or a machine. That experience was very frightening. In later recordings, this part disappeared and National Aeronautics and Space Administration ended the discussion by calling it a data error. But was it really an error, or was there a deeper mystery? Here, conspiracy theorists believe that this noise could be from some unknown alien signal present on the moon, which might have come from an extraterrestrial source. But National Aeronautics and Space Administration completely dismissed any such theory. December 11, 1972. 1 o'clock in the afternoon, every American on Earth had their eyes glued to the television screens at that time. The lunar module separated at an altitude of 100 kilometers. Saarinen and Schmidt were now fully prepared and seated inside. To land on the moon, the engines were shut down while descending on the descent trajectory, and after 30 seconds, the module shifted from a vertical to a horizontal position. As they continued descending, the engines were started again. After landing there, she collects about 21.5 kilograms of rocks. She also calculates the velocity and gravity on the moon. Litrof Valley was specially chosen for this task because it is one of the oldest geological formations on the moon. Here, Saarinen and Schmidt also carried out 3 extravehicular activities, and during this time, they spent more than 22 hours on the surface of the moon. They traveled a distance of 35 kilometers using the Lunar roving vehicle and also collected about 110 kilograms of lunar material. Schmidt mentioned in his diary about a night after the landing when a sudden blue glow startled him. It was something like plasma, which was quite strange to find in a place like the moon. Usually, it is produced by the solar wind. He wrote that this glow was coming from somewhere, but the source was not visible. This event lasted for about 10 minutes, and Schmidt called it an unknown light. He did not inform Mission Control about it, but this part is missing from the recording. Was it really a natural phenomenon, or was there some unknown force present there? After Apollo 17, National Aeronautics and Space Administration never went back to the moon again. Why was such a successful mission suddenly stopped? Officially, budget cuts and the end of the Cold War were given as the reasons. But was that really the truth? After 1972, National Aeronautics and Space Administration's focus shifted to the space station and Mars missions. But some former scientists secretly hinted that unknown incidents on the moon had actually made National Aeronautics and Space Administration cautious. Did National Aeronautics and Space Administration do this because of dangerous radiation levels on the moon, or was there some other threat on the moon? Apollo 17 faced high levels of cosmic radiation on the surface of the moon, which became even more dangerous due to solar flares. Some scientists believe that this radiation could also become a major challenge for future missions. In 2026, National Aeronautics and Space Administration is planning to return to the moon with the Artemis program, where there are also plans to build permanent lunar bases at the moon's south pole. The Artemis 3 mission is expected to launch in 2026, which will land at the moon's south pole, where the presence of water ice has been confirmed. The water present here can be used not only for drinking, but also as fuel in the form of hydrogen and oxygen. But can we really reach that darkness which has been hidden for the past 52 years? After all, what happened during Apollo 17 that National Aeronautics and Space Administration never set foot on the moon again? What was that mystery? That strange shape which appeared in the pictures taken on the moon? Did National Aeronautics and Space Administration see any alien civilization on the moon? Or is it something else? We will reveal this in the next part of this video, so make sure to subscribe to the channel. And friends, what do you think? Is there really something on the moon that we should be afraid of? Did National Aeronautics and Space Administration really see something very scary on the moon? What are your thoughts on this? Do let us know in the comments section below. If you like this video, make sure to like it and share it with your friends. friends, we will meet soon with the next part of this video. Until then, stay curious, be happy, and goodbye.